Well, hello, and this is my first tutorial on, it's going to be the UH60 Blackhawk helicopter, on how to animate it and get it working properly. And I want to thank the person who ever made this helicopter. It's very popular on the web. It's a free download. In fact, I've made a file and put it on mediafire, which I'll put a link in down below, that has this helicopter already textured and all the propellers separated, as well as the pilots if you wish, and ready to go into Video Copilot's Element3D. I'm using here is CC 2015 After Effects, and it's not the best After Effects by a long shot. It's got a lot of problems, and 2014 wasn't much better. I still say CS6 is probably the best one. They've really gone down on this, the terrible one, really. But anyway, I'm sure you could use it CS6 as well. But anyway, let's get started. I'm sure everybody knows what to do here. I'm going to go composition, new composition. This is my settings here. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever settings you want. You can name it if you wish. I'm not going to at the moment. Okay, then go layer, new, solid, and it doesn't matter what color it is. Then go effect, find your Video Copilot Element3D, click on that, and that'll give you that type of screen. Then you want to go over here to scene setup, click on that. Now I'm assuming you've downloaded the file that I put on mediafire. It's all free, so you know, there's no reason not to. I put it into my documents, Video Copilot, and I put it into my models. So I put it in here. This is a file that you can download right here. It's got all the stuff that you need. But this is the one we want to open right now, and that's a UH60 ALL. Right. So you've got your helicopter there. Now, as you can see here, the colors in here are fine. The propeller, if you look in your group folder, which is what you've downloaded, and click on it, you will have these four things in there. You will have the back rotor, you will have the front rotor, and the pilots can be either in or out, and that's the body of the chopper, right? And in fact, I'm going to scale it up slightly just to make it easier to see. Right now, the front rotor, this one here, if you look up here and go over and click on that, I've just quickly put on textures on it there using the presets in Element3D. Normally I put silver metal here, brush metal or something, and something else, but for this tutorial I just put them on real quick. You can change them if you wish. You can change anything you like, obviously, for the tutorial, this is all I have at the moment. Anyways, this is what you get in the folder, right? What you want to do is click on front rotor, right? Left click on front rotor, hold the button down and drag it down until it turns red. That means you're taking it out of the group folder. Let go, and then it's out of the group folder now. And you want to change that to group number 2, okay? Then you want to get hold of the back rotor 2. Do the same thing, left click on that, drag it down until it comes red, and then let go, and now it's out of the folder. And you want to change that to number 3. Okay, now just a minute, I've got to have a drink of coffee now. Oh, okay, that's better. Right, and as I can see, I think my capture thing's cutting some of the stuff up, but I hope you can see it all. I'm using Action, by the way, and seems to be working not too bad. And sorry for the microphone, because my proper microphone is somewhere else, and I've had to use a Logitech camera microphone, which is not the best. But let's just struggle on, shall we? Anyway, let's say okay. Right, so now you have basically your helicopter, and I'm not going to move the helicopter at the moment, right? So, what I will do is to try and brighten it up a bit, is to go to the render settings and lighting, and put it on to say 100% ambient, and add lighting just to make it brighter for now. Normally I would put a camera in and some lights, but for this tutorial this is just the quickest way to go about it, right? So there you have it. Okay, so now group one, if you remember, right, was your body of your chopper. So if we click on group one over here, then go down to click on to create group null, like so, and create group null. Right click that null you've just made, and I call it, you can call it what you like, but I call it body null. The reason why I put null in here is because I always sometimes get confused about which one is which. But anyway, you should really name this too, but as for purposes like now. So that's the body null, right, group one. Group two, if you remember, was the main propeller. So let's go like that and go create null. Right click on that, rename, and I'm going to put down big rotor. Big rotor, yeah. Okay, click on there again. We got one more to do, and number 3, create group null. This is the small rotor. Name that small rotor. Oh yeah, there you go. Right. Okay, so all these are done. Now let's click on to, we go to big rotor, and you click on that, on the null, and click down here, and on the Yankee, if you take a look at the rotor, you will see that you can spin it. Okay, so that's good. That's a good start. Now the small rotor won't spin that way because we'll have to adjust something to get it to go right. But before we do that, this is the body null. We want to pick whip here, click on there, left button, and hold it down and pick whip that small rotor to the body null. You want to do the same with the big rotor to the body null. Now, I'm still not going to move the helicopter just yet because of it makes it harder to do whatever you do. But we've done all this, right? So now we want to go back into Video Copilot, right? Now, you've got all these, basically you've got, this is the group folder, which is your plane, and then you've got your front rotor, and then you've got your back. Now, the thing is about the back rotor, what it needs to be, the back rotor to turn properly, and some people have a lot of trouble with this, with the back rotor. The front rotor is okay. You want this here to be basically in that cross right there in the middle, and you want the spindle that goes through there to be crossed right through that middle white line there. So let's move it not After Effects, but it's not too good this doing this. There might be an easier way of doing it. In fact, there's probably an easier way of doing it. I don't know, but this is the way I do it. And you're bringing it down, and there's a button over here. If you look over here on the right hand side, it'll say a camera. It says center camera. So if you do that, sometimes that makes it a bit easier to find out what you're doing, right? So yeah, I've got it like this. So now obviously it wants to come up, and if we take a look a bit closer, it wants to come up some more maybe, and it obviously needs to come over. And there's, like I say, there's probably another way of doing this, an easier way of doing this, but this is the only way I found out that it would work pretty well every time. So I've got it in there like that. Now you can click OK. Right, now, now you won't see the propeller now because it's inside the chopper. So what I do is I go to Active Camera, click on there and go top. Right, so now we're looking at the top of the rotor, of the helicopter. Now we click on small rotor. And there it is there, hidden somewhere in there. Now we drag that back like that. Drag it back like this. And for some reason our helicopter is not quite right there. We want to go to body null and just move the body forward a bit so we can get a bit more room. Then go back onto small rotor. Sorry if this doesn't look too good to you guys, but I'm doing the best I can here. Move it across, and there you go. It's in there like that. If anybody can see that, it's going in there like this. Right, now I'm going to go to left view, which will give me an idea where it roughly is on the left view. So it's obviously quite a bit out, so up we go. I don't know, maybe this is the wrong side of the chopper, but something like edit undo, because I think if you don't grab the handles, if you don't grab these handles exactly, if it doesn't say Z or whatever, you can move the whole thing around, so be careful about that. Okay, so now I'm going to go to right and move this over like this, and looks to me like it should be about there. And then we're going to go to top again and have another look at the top. Oop, sorry guys if this is a bit flashy for you. Right, it doesn't look too bad. Let's go try front, which is probably the same, yeah. Okay, let's have a look here. Maybe just wants to go up just a fraction there. And a lot of times, really, the back rotor should be slightly tilted, but it makes it very awkward to rotate. So anyway, so now we've got these all pick-whipped together to the body null. We don't have to. Hopefully, they'll all stay together when we move the body null. So this is what we use to animate it. So if we turn the chopper around, everything stays the same, stays connected. I mean, even if we move the chopper this way or that way, they all stay connected. So let's see now about the back rotor, if we can rotate it now. And that will be on the X rotation, not the Y. So let's see. Oh, no. Not that one. That one. The small rotor one. Oh dear. Certainly losing it. Right, here's the X rotation, and there you go. Not really sure which way that one goes, but I think it's going okay. Right, so there you have it there. The chopper doesn't look too good there, so I'll tell you what. Let's import file. Let's get a picture there. Bring that in to just drop it in there so it looks something or not look something. And we can't see it because I'm on front camera. Always make sure you go back to that one so we can move the move that down to there. It's just a background. That's all it is, just so you can see it. Right, so there's the chopper there. So let's do some animation like in the rotor. So let's go for the big rotor first, and we'll go down to the Yankee, click on the stopwatch over here, go to 15 say, and on the rotation here I just click on here and I'm going to put 55, right? So that does that. Then for the small rotor I'm going to click on the X-ray and go 55 there. I'm doing this a bit backwards here, as you know, right? Okay, and then go back down to here and click on there and do 0. Right, now I'm going to bring that in like that, and then I'm going to push the 0 key, the number key, 0 key on there to get it to rotate. Right, so that doesn't look great, really. I mean, that might be a bit too fast, actually. So let's put on some motion blur, and I found a couple of things that look not bad So we put motion blur here on, then go up here and activate it so we can see it, right? It doesn't look too bad. But there is another way of putting the blur on, and if you click off of that and off of that, there's one in Element3D. So if you go down here and you'll see, ooh, close it up. Come on, close it up. Close it up. Render settings and motion blur. Sorry it took so long. I was drinking a bit of coffee there. Right, it says comp settings days. So if you turn it on to say on, that'll give it some blur as well. And that might be going the wrong way around actually. It should be going minus, I think. So you can put minus 55 there. Let's do that minus 55 on the small rotor. So just click down to there, click on there and go minus 55 and try that. Yeah, it looks a bit better. Right, so you can either use the motion blur in After Effects or the motion blur on Video Copilot's Element3D, whichever works best. And you can make the blur worse by obviously upping it a bit, but it will take more to render. Okay, so basically that's it, right? So you use the body null one to animate it to whatever way you wish. So you can turn it up like this. I mean, obviously, the chopper looks a bit anemic there because I've got all the lights up, but we can sort of make it look a bit better by changing that to say dark, turning the light down or something, or the light up. Maybe dark might not be the right thing. Natural, perhaps, I don't know. And it's all down to your own personal taste, what you want to do with it. You can also have shadows on, and you can also have ambient occlusion, which I suggest you have on anyway, right? But what's going to affect this helicopter the best will be if you put a camera, which is easy to do. You just put a camera, new camera in with some lights, layer new light, parallel light to start with. And that's a bit bright, that light. So let's look at this. Look at 1,200. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Yeah, that's a nova coming in. Oh, okay, we're getting better now. It's having a bit of trouble. Anyway, so yeah, you can move the lights around. Even now, I don't like the look of. Okay, so this is what takes the time, is trying to adjust the lighting the correct way, which takes time. I don't like natural. What about dark on that one? That looks a bit better. Let's turn the chopper around a bit here. And it's a bit sluggish because I'm still sort of, it'll still sort of do this business. But that's it there, right? So that's how you get it animated. And like I say, you can download the file on mediafire. I've put it on there. I'll put a link below. And if you have any problems with it, just put it in the link below, and I will certainly help you out there. I remember this helicopter had some problems with you couldn't separate it for quite a lot of things on it because some of them were connected. What I did was I put it into Cinema 4D and separated all the things like this. I separated that, I separated this. These were connected to that, it was all connected to other things, but I separated the pilots so that you can have the pilots in there or not in there, entirely up to you. So there is one other thing I would like to say to you, that okay, so let's render it up to say wherever that stops, wherever they stop. So render it to there and show you something that might help you out a little bit. One of my first things when I was trying to, I had this idea about a helicopter to want to do, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't find a way of getting the helicopter to work properly to begin with. So hopefully this will help you out in the sense that you've got the helicopter hopefully working properly, and now all you need to do is get an idea to use it. So as we all know, it takes a long time. So I'm rendering this out, and what will happen when it gets past this point here, obviously the propellers, let's take some of this this blur off because it's taking so long to render, and nobody wants to sit there that long, do they? Or do they? Maybe they do. I don't. So where is this motion? Let's take that off for now so it'll render quickly. And now they stopped, right? It's still rendering, but they've stopped. So now, if you want them to continue on, there is a rotation expression you can use, which is online. I can't remember it offhand myself. I never really had success with it myself anyway. But if you get on to the, say, the big rotor and click on the last key frame that you got there, and then push the Alt key on your keyboard and push onto the rotor stopwatch here, you'll get that. And this here, you'll see this come out here. And if you click on that arrow and then go to property and then go up to, say, loop out duration type cycle, that one there, right? I don't know why it's gone into that, but anyway. Okay, so now if, for instance, we render it again, it should loop, right? So if I render it again, the big rotor, the small rotor should stop when it gets past this point here, but the big rotor should continue on. Well, actually, it's a loop, so you've got to be careful in the sense that it might be noticeable, the loop. When it keeps on looping, it might be noticeable, but it will keep on looping and looping and looping, so you won't have problems with it stopping it a lot of times. So it's coming up, and there it is. The small one stopped, but the other one's still going because it's looped. And like I say, you may notice when it gets to its loop thing and starts the next bit again, it might be a hesitant type thing going on, but you don't, you may not see it. I don't know. But anyway, so that's it. Then that's the loop thing. You can use it for the small one as well, right? So any questions, please ask me, and I hope this helped you out, and I hope the volume wasn't too bad on the microphone, and I hope this helped everybody out, and helped me out quite a bit. Anyway, right, thank you very much, and yeah, good luck with that, and I'd like to see some videos made with the helicopter. Okay, ciao.